How will you really listen? Listening to someone is, as Sir Winston Churchill said, the highest compliment you can give to anyone. We all know that we're given 2 ears and 1 mouth and should use them in that proportion. But I suppose the question is, do we? Experts tell us that there are many sorts of listening models. I want to focus on active listening as our mode of preference in this video. Active listening is the single most useful and important listening skill. In this active listening mode, we are genuinely interested in understanding what the other person is thinking, feeling, and wanting. We're really concerned in the message that they are communicating to us. Feedback. When actively listening, we wait until they're finished and then give feedback to them on the parts of the communication that were important to us. This process, this feedback process, is one of the key things that distinguishes listening from active listening. Listening is hearing for words, whilst active listening is really listening to the message and offering feedback. Listening with your ears as well as your eyes is so important. Note-taking, another great trait of the practiced active listener is note-taking. A great technique taught to me by Master Trainer Tom Hopkins is, "Just let me make a note of that." What a line! When the person sees that you're taking notes, they also feel a sense that you care. The other bonus for you is that you can use these as reference notes later. Taking notes is giving feedback to the customer. It highlights to them what the areas are of agreement and disagreement, and it also puts them into the correct perspective. Spectator Sport. I've got to tell you, listening is definitely not a spectator sport. It is something you do, and you've got to immerse yourself into it in order to get the most out of your conversations. Barriers to active listening. Some of the common barriers to be aware of in your quest to become an exemplary active listener are: number 1, prejudicing the person speaking. That's a no-no. Number 2, finishing off their sentences for them. Number 3, being distracted by external activities like noise and not giving the person 100% attention. Number 4, lack of any verbal feedback and very little eye contact. Number 5, treating the discussion as a competition. Now let's review a checklist of things that you can do to become a better, more active listener. And I tell you what, it's so important. Number 1, close out distractions. Give the person 100% attention. Number 2, set aside your prejudices. No opinions. You may learn something from the person speaking when your mind is open. Number 3, suspend emotions. It is just so difficult to actively listen in a highly emotional state. Number 4, focus your complete attention on the subject, not the speaker. Number 5, take notes. Learn and use the term, "Let me make a note of that." I'll say it again, "Let me make a note of that." Number 6, be involved. Match and mirror the speaker's body language and position. People respond best to people who act in a similar manner to themselves. Number 7, use your voice to convey attentiveness. Really? No. Fair dinkum. Number 8, understanding body language is also very important when mastering the art of active listening. Making eye contact. Eye contact with the speaker is an easy way to indicate you're paying attention to them. Also, taking mental notes of the other person's facial expressions assists you in your ability to listen actively and respond accordingly. Remember, when you listen, you learn. Thanks for listening.